Welcome to Constanța for the Romanian Grand Prix, the midpoint of the 2023 UIM XCAT World Championship. In front of me is the Black Sea, and behind me is Lake Stuttgart, the venue for this weekend's races.
This is my first time. This is a beautiful place, beautiful sea view and beautiful lake.
This is the first time we've been in Constanța, and yeah, quite impressed. It's a nice area. This is the first time of me actually racing on a lake. So normally salt water, so set up the boat a little bit different. It was we got out yesterday for a little bit of free practice because we had repairs to the engine to do. But no, we've done a little bit more today. We're happy with the way that it's set up.
It's beautiful because the lake is nice, it's pretty flat, it's a high-speed course. It will be a bit tough for everybody because they'll all be going flat out. So it's going to be a good race, hopefully, inshallah, tomorrow.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here. We are in Constanța for the Romanian Grand Prix, and it's the very first race of two this weekend. Now, if you missed it earlier, I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown of what happened in qualifying. And qualifying this time was a different format to the one you might have been used to in Fiumicino and Basilicata. And as you can probably hear behind me, there has been a bit of, well, the theme has been engineering issues, let's put it kindly, which is why we're going to start at this end. So we're going to start really at the back of the grid for today's race. So we have got XCAT, who have been having engineering issues all weekend, really. It's been a bit of a sorry tale for them, to be fair. So it turns out they had a fuel line issue. So there was actual water getting into the fueling system, the fuel pipes, and obviously that translated then into the actual combustion engines themselves. And if you're new to the UIM XCAT World Championship, then what you are looking at here is two of the most exciting engines that you could possibly find. 400 brake horsepower, ROS Mercury racing engines. As you've just heard, they're awfully loud, they're incredibly powerful, and they will fire these XCAT boats to over 100 kilometers an hour. In fact, they were doing that right behind us there during the sessions this morning. It was really something to witness. So rather than going back and watching that now, make sure you stay with us live because it's going to be incredible. So we've got XCAT and Pasta Amato, boat number 22. They are going to be bringing up the rear. And then as we head over here, making sure the cameraman doesn't fall into the water because he's going to have a bit of an early bath otherwise. We've got Team GB starting in fourth position. They really, actually quite a few of these boats are designed for much choppier waters, open waters with the swells and all the different elements that come with that, whereas here we are at Lake Szczytło, which is on the other side of the Mamaia, not a peninsula, it's kind of a spit of land between the city of Constanța and then as we head further north with the Black Sea just on the other side. So it does make for what will be a really interesting afternoon. We've got no idea how the race pace of each of these XCATs is actually going to perform out there on the lake. It is an unknown quantity. We know how they kind of perform out there on the open water, out there in seas and oceans, but when it comes to what they're going to do here, we've got very little idea. And if you look above me, there's a drone, Larry the drone. If you've been watching us from the beginning, Fiumicino, Basilicata, and now here at Constanța, we gave the drone a name because he's a very useful part of the team. So let's find ourselves somebody to grab and talk to, and I'm going to make it someone from Team... Oh, he's hiding. Team GB is hiding. He knows he doesn't want to. Where is he? What's your name and where'd you come from?
Martin Campbell from Team GB.
There we go. And that makes me your Cilla Black, I think.
Yeah, obviously.
Anyone in the UK watching will... I don't know if people will get the reference anymore. Anyway, qualifying was a mixed bag. You're heading back out. How are you feeling about it, mate?
Yeah, obviously it's a freshwater course. We're on a lake, so we're used to big waves and big sea, but this isn't our course, but we're just going to go out, have fun and enjoy it and try and hold our position where we start, hopefully, and anything can happen in the race, as you know.
And last one before I let you go. Coming into the championship third overall, you obviously had the win first time out. Appreciate the water isn't necessarily the one you would have picked if you were given a list. What are your hopes, dreams and aspirations coming out the other end of Romania when we leave, do you think? What would be best case scenario?
Keep the boat, collect points coming out of Romania, get them to Dubai, and hoping for a couple of races that are rough. And obviously, it's still anyone's championship at the moment.
Amazing. Right, I'll get out of your way.
Cheers, thank you.
Pick number 3. Martin there. Of Team GB. It is a quick boat. They won the first race of this championship in Fiumicino. They came from the back of the pack there, where their qualifying just basically didn't happen. And we've got team manager of Team GB just ploughing into the side of the cameraman there, just making general havoc and chaos everywhere she goes. But it's all good. So we're going to move further down, see who we can see, and as it happens, as we go further down, we're going to find ourselves going through that leaderboard and going through the grid and finding each and every one. You got 2 moments for a word, Alfredo? 2 minutes, very quickly.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
We are ready.
You feeling good?
Yes, feeling very good. I would go more fast than Paul. Paul, we have problem, but now we would win.
You're going to win?
Yes, I will win.
Best of luck. Alfredo Amato there of boat number 22, Pasta Amato. Again, in Fiumicino, the first weekend of the year, they were competitive. They did well. They were on the podium. So the number 22 boat is made up of that gentleman there, Alfredo Amato, and Luca Betti. And they had a really strong first weekend. Went into Basilicata and kind of had a bit of a ropey start, and obviously we get here and Rosario, che quasi, tutto bien?
Tutto bien, che passa amigo?
Third position?
I'm direct from Santo Domingo, or Cuba.
It looks like Cuba, the weather.
The weather is beautiful. Yeah.
How was pole position?
Yeah, it's okay, I'm really nice today. We start from third again. Every time it's third. Now we need to step more, but we cannot do. With Giovanni in front, it's difficult to passing him. And okay, the setting is really nice. The water that is without rough, is lake, really comfortable. But we have something different, difficult from the sea. It's different, but it's okay. We are comfortable.
You'll be fine.
Yes, we need to catch point.
Yeah, exactly. Good luck, my friend. Good luck. I'm going to avoid grabbing Giuseppe, who is Rosario's brother. But keep running. Run away. I'm loved on this pontoon. I'm loved on the jetty. They're always getting me. Third? First.
Cool.
Come on.
Come on, guys. 96 in front. Yes. Nothing back.
Yeah, good luck, mate. Good luck. The other half of Boat 96 HPI racing team, who are starting in third place. You've got the two brothers there that have mentioned that, heading off. And again, they are only 1 point behind the championship leaders, Faza. So they should and are, obviously you can see, coming into this with a huge amount of confidence, and they should do. But the interesting thing about the boat is you can just see there, this is the only boat that is not a victory hull, and you can see that on the back of that one there isn't the covers on the back of the hull covering the two engines, which I find quite interesting. But then I'm a little bit of a power boating nerd. Now, Darren Nicholson, you look a bit suspect. Well, I mean, the less said about that, the better, I think. How are we feeling? Starting in second?
Apparently, yes. Yeah, no, happy to be second. I thought after the pole where we had a bit of an oil mishap, we mightn't have been here. But so it's nice to be here.
Well, there you go. It's nice to be included, isn't it?
It is. It's almost like we were wanted. Felt wanted.
I wouldn't go that far.
No, true. That was probably exaggeration.
You know, I know it's television, but let's keep some of it real.
Tolerated is probably more that. Tolerated is more the.
Oh, he's off. There you go. People will do anything to get away from live TV. He's gone. He's floating up. And there you go. Coming back.
We'll have a rerun of that. Yes, tolerated, not wanted.
But obviously the key thing here, compared to what we've done in the last few rounds, is we're not on the ocean. We're not in the sea. How does that kind of tide with what you're tied with everything you're doing?
That's a good play of words. Yeah, that's why you're that side, on this side. I can't string a sentence together. No, actually, we like a bit of bump. It's a lot more, puts another medium into it. So This is a bit like driving on tar. You've got to get it right. Whereas if you're driving on gravel, you can slide it round. Same on this when it's bouncy. You've got a bit more fun. So, well, you know, we're all got to put up with it. So
That's it. I mean, that's the one. The leveler is you're all in the same situation. Yeah, you're coming for my job now. We're all in the same boat. This is embarrassing for me now. No, I'm going to let you get on.
Take your job.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I've got a face for radio, so there's a good chance that no, you're much prettier than me. Right. I know so. Right, best of luck.
Big head over will fit in the cockpit.
I mean, next to the real hunk of a throb.
I only bring him along to make me look good.
Awesome. No, that's all going in. That is all live. Too late. Everyone who heard that at home, it is completely true. I have it on good authority. That's why we all stay in the same hotel. Have a lovely race. Don't do anything silly. Catch you in a bit. And as we slowly move down, we're just waiting for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, one more boat. So we're waiting for Faza to be lifted into the water. And that's pertinent because Faza are our pole sitters for this very first race on Lake Sucel here in Constanța in Romania for the Romanian Grand Prix. So they're about to lift him into the water. I'm not going to hang around and chit chat for too much longer because let's be honest, you're not really here to watch me, are you? You're here to watch these guys go and do what they do best, and I don't blame you because that is exactly why I do what I do and why I sit over there and watch the boats go round and round. So they're just lifting Faza into the water now, and this is really a course, if ever there has been one, designed for these guys. And there's a little bit of kerfuffle going on there with the crane operator. Lucky. Okay, they've got it off. They've got it off. That's all good. Am I in anybody's way? No, good. So Faza, you'll notice, again, if you're brand new to the 2023 UIM XCAT World Championship, first of all, hello, welcome, where have you been? You are in for a treat. But Faza, the boat is slightly shorter than some of their colleagues up and down the pontoon here. And really, it's the way in which the pilots, the crew, Nadir and Arif, managed to rotate that boat around the corners, and that's what gives them the extra edge. It's an open secret. You can see it when they're going around, that it's just the way that they manage to play the throttle, and Arif manages to turn that steering wheel that manages to get round. And Abdul Latif is running. He's running. Abdul Latif of Q8 Oils there. You get to this point where they're in a mindset where they are about to go out and do something extraordinarily dangerous, extraordinarily fast, and so there becomes a point where it becomes just ridiculous for me to try and talk to them. So Faza is coming over the head of our cameraman right now, and he's going to pray he doesn't get stepped on by Faza. But keep an eye out for that pivoting that I was talking about. And that ability to get back on the power, and you'll see that they fly extraordinarily flat. They'll extraordinarily quietly across the water, keeping it completely and totally, essentially kind of rigid. And I'm going to move the cameraman just this way a little bit, because otherwise we're going to really test out our insurance policy, and I don't fancy that. So we shall let them do what they need to do. And it's there we go. What. That was seamless. It was like we were doing the tango together. It worked really, really well. So, lifting it into the water. And by the way, if you've never seen this part of how powerboating works or how the UIM XCAT World Championship actually operates, it's a fascinating part of the whole thing. It really, really is, because these are the bits that you don't normally get to see on TV. These are the bits that aren't particularly glamorous, but they are super, well, I think they're super, super interesting. So as it comes down, you can kind of see just how the hull is developed there, and the little ridges at the back there help lift that as it goes through the water and disperse that water to make it more like a torpedo, a bit more like a kind of shark underneath, and let it go. Officials telling people off for wearing flip-flops there. You shouldn't be wearing flip-flops. It's mightily dangerous. If something falls on your toe, you're going to lose it. And so there we go. Faza, our pole sitters for this first race in Romania. I'm going to go and try and grab a chat with a couple of the guys. Arif, how are you feeling? You good?
Yeah, we're feeling good today because really we make it good setup for the pole position, and you saw the time what we bring. Sure, we're happy. We'll start today the first one. We'll try to continue at the first buoy, and we'll say hello to everyone. Bye-bye, inshallah.
You kept cutting time in that pole position.
Yes.
How? You keep going faster and faster?
Actually, this is our target. You know, when we saw that circuit, we try to find good setup and good weight for the boat, and we're training how we can turn with the high speed. And you know, Nader is professional for the steering. Is I can say is more than professional. And don't forget, we have local team. When I make it our flag, always on top.
Arif, best of luck, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Go quickly. The man's lightning. He absolutely flies. And so that, we try not to get bludgeoned there. That is our starting lineup for this, the first race of the Romanian Grand Prix. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you ever so much for being part of what is a historic occasion here for XCAT, and it's going to be a sight to behold. I can't call the winner, but with that, I'm going to hand back to my colleague John. I'm going to run along and join him in the commentary booth, and then we'll get the action underway. See you soon.
Once again, welcome back everybody to the UIM XCAT World Championship and the Constanta GP for race 1 following the morning's first pole position session. As you can see, the boats are lining up in the pontoon, preparing for the start of the race. Following the first pole position session, we have Faza in pole. We have 222 Offshore in second place, Team HPI in third, Team GB in fourth, QA Oils in fifth, and Pasta Amato sixth, and Sweet Cat in seventh. A bit of a unlucky one for Sweet Cat following some engine issues, as mentioned by Stu. Water basically going into the engine. The race officials have given notice that they need to start preparing. So as you can see, all the drivers putting on their helmets, getting ready to strap in for another exciting race. So for today, we have one starting lap, 4.22 nautical miles. That's about 6.5 kilometers. If you want to take an F1 example, let's say the street circuit in Baku, each lap is about 6 kilometers. 13 race laps totaling 45.89 nautical miles, 2 long laps, 8.08 nautical miles with a total race course of 58.19 nautical miles. So now the long laps, the 2 long laps are mandatory. The first needs to be taken from the beginning of lap 3 and until the race reaches 70% completion, and the second by the end of the race. In case of complete failure of the long laps, that will lead to disqualification. In case of partial failure, that will be a penalty lap or time added. Now these are of utmost importance, so the team managers need to be very strategic for when they decide to actually take those long laps. As we've seen in Basilicata and in Fiumicino, it can either make or break you. So here is basically the race course. The boats will line up basically in the middle in the right corner. They will parade towards the left and basically make their way into the starting lap. The 2 long laps, as you can see, the red line is slightly a longer diversion. Thus it adds a lot of extra nautical miles onto your lap. We can either help you or... Oh, and Stu joins me.
Hello.
Is it a bit hot out there?
I can't tell you how warm it is.
Is it?
It might have come across on the screen, I'm not entirely sure, but I felt pretty glistening.
No, you look great, mate.
Well, thanks. Do you know, there was a lot of backslapping going on up and down that pontoon between me, Darren Nicholson, Giovanni, Martin. We were just all bigging each other up.
You were having a great time with Darren, though, weren't you?
Yeah. I don't think he quite realised that we were live.
Yeah, I was a bit worried.
Despite the fact I told him repeatedly, we were live. But yes, it was great. It's absolutely, it's a real privilege actually, just to be able to show people a little bit of what goes on in the build-up to the race, and see what happens on the pontoons.
I think you're right, Stu, and I think it's also very important beyond the boats, the exciting racing. it's introducing people to the actual people that are helming these boats, because I think really that they are the most important part of the championship. Everyone has their own personality, their own sense of humor.
Yeah, they certainly have their own sense of humour. There was, I think, Scott from Team GB, kind of to avoid me, almost bumped me into the ocean. That's not even an ocean; it's a lake.
You'd have to pay for that microphone, eh?
Well, I mean, it won't be the first microphone they've ruined this weekend. Let's put it that way.
That's right.
You've definitely got to make sure that you subscribe to the official XCAT Championship social media pages to know what we're talking about, because there's some really interesting content coming out across the airwaves there, and it is going to be a really interesting race. Now, did I see the white flag getting raised as I came in there?
You are right, Stu. So there is a very specific starting procedure that goes to the championship. So the white flag has been raised in the pontoon, so the drivers will take their positions in the cockpits, as they are already. 10 minutes before the start of the race, the green flag will be raised, so any time now. And the pace cap boat will leave the pontoon and call all the race boats in pole order. Now, all the boats need to follow them basically in the qualification in lineup. Following the parades, they line up side by side in preparation for the start. And when the pace cap boat decides that the positions are satisfactory, the yellow flag is shown, and then the green, and we're off racing.
Yeah, so thank you very much for that rundown. Very, very useful. It's been a little while since we had a race, maybe 4 weeks or so. A bit of a break, and then we go into a longer break now until we move to the Middle East later on in the year. But it's going to be a tight one. As I was saying out there on the pontoon, we haven't raced in conditions like this. And so while we have boats lining up kind of true to form to a certain degree, it is a complete and total unknown. So all we do know is, as you say, the start procedure is going to be relatively straightforward, we hope. Just because the start procedure has been given by the pace cat also doesn't mean that that start procedure has to go ahead. We also have the ability, green flag.
Green flag?
Green flag, there we go, okay.
So everyone needs to make their way following the pace cats. Oh, it's an exciting one, eh?
This really is. I can't tell you how much I've missed this, and it's only been 4 weeks.
That's it. And, you know, I'm very curious to see with Faza whether anyone will have the speed to kind of contest them. The water is looking super flat, which favors them massively. But 222 Offshore did put up a really good fight in the first session to the pole position.
Yeah, they really did. And I spoke to Arif on the pontoon, as you may have watched, and he is up for it, you know, and he was just talking about how much pride it is. Obviously, they carry the Emirati flag on their boat. They are, you know, every time they go out, they are representing not just themselves, but their friends, their families, and their country. And I think they really take that pressure and they take that feeling and they use it to their advantage. I asked him, you know, how did you do that in pole in the qualifying? You went out, you smashed your time, then you went out and smashed it again. And he said, well, it's just we know that we're representing more than ourselves. And it was a really interesting answer that he gave, because I've never really considered it.
I guess that's you can't get more motivated than that, thinking that, you know, I'm representing my country, I need to make them proud.
Yeah.
Obviously, the final will take place in Dubai in home waters, so
yeah,
you know, a little bit of extra pressure on their shoulders.
Exactly, and that's what he was saying. You know, they want to make sure that they head to Dubai in prime position, in first place. So it's of huge importance to them, and you know, frankly, I would be exactly the same. So the boats are heading out now. The XCATs are heading out now. They will go behind the pace cat, and they, as you accurately said, will go on a bit of a procession, just giving everything in the fluids a chance to do what they need to do. And I don't know if we're going to catch the seaplanes just gone over the top. That's the second time we've seen that in 2 days, and it's great. Looks very Indiana Jones.
We've got a bit of everything. Here we go: powerboats, seaplanes, a Luna Park.
Yeah, it's all good, and you can just see it in the background of your screen there. it's a great place to. We spoke about this in qualifying, didn't we? Where, you know, this apart from the racing, which is obviously, you know, our main draw, contractually obliged to be here, but just the city, the people, the food, everything has just been fantastic, and notwithstanding the weather, it's actually probably too hot to a degree.
You know, so I think after this, I'll probably put it on my top threes for summer destinations.
Do you know what? I completely agree. I was having this conversation with the other half, who's obviously back in the UK, and just saying, you know what, this is somewhere we've never considered before, but is somewhere that we really should consider in the future. There's an awful lot to enjoy. But right now, it is not about Constanza. It is not about going out and enjoying yourself. It is about. Oh, there we go! Look, very quickly, the seaplane. That is a great shot. It's we saw them. We went for a little bit of a little bit of a sail through the lake last night, and we saw two of those seaplanes going across in tandem. And as I mentioned on the pontoon, I'm a bit of a nerd just in general, and just anything like that.
Nothing
I kind of
wrong with that. Nerds are the best.
No, apparently so. So off they go. They're off in their parade lap now. It serves two purposes. It allows everybody up and down the coast to observe the boats at slow speed. It's probably the only chance they're going to get to see them going so slowly. But also it gives the crews a chance to get all the lubricants moving around the Mercury engines to make sure that everything's kind of set how they like it inside the cockpit. And then when they get to go on the marker.
Yeah, but at the same time, to get in the proper headspace, you know, let's not forget that each engine delivers about 400 HP.
Yes, yeah, they're pretty amazing things. You know, during qualifying, they were regularly going over 100 kilometers an hour. You know, it was huge amounts. Yeah, that's over 90 miles an hour for those of you on the old system. So it's really something to see.
So if we go through the teams once more, so we've got Faza in first place, helmed by Arif Al-Zafai and Nadir bin Hendi. 222 Offshore in second, helmed by Darren Nicholson and Giovanni Carpitella. HPI in third, with brothers Giuseppe and Rosario Sciano Di Cola. Team GB with Martin Campbell and Scott Williams. QA Oils with Abdulatif Alomani and Badir Al-Dusari. Pasta Amato in sixth with Alfredo Amato and Luca Betti, and XCAT with Sebastian Groth and Eric Zumlad Johansen.
Eric, a new addition to the team there.
Correct. The very tall Swedish man.
Except he's Norwegian.
Is he Norwegian?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, you don't want to get them two mixed up. It's one of those things. But he's lovely team. I was speaking about it on the pontoon earlier, and it's an issue with fuel that they've had. So essentially, they've had a variety of issues with the fuel line, kind of between today and yesterday. And now they feel confident that they've fixed those issues. Didn't help them for qualifying. Hopefully it'll help them for qualifying tomorrow. But it's going to be a bit of a fight for them. But they did finish on the podium.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, team manager Josephine did seem like she was a woman on a mission earlier after the pole position session, trying to figure everything out before the race. Actually, she is one of the youngest, well actually the youngest person to have ever managed an XCAT racing team. She was 21 years old at the time. So actually they're one of the youngest teams with Sebastian, her partner actually, and then Josephine managing the team.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to share a taxi with the XCAT team on the way from the airport over to Constanza. So we managed to have a really good chat about life, the universe, and everything. But obviously, most specifically, talking about the wonderful world of water-powered sports or powered water sports. Yeah, really interesting to get their take on their journey so far. And like you say, we've seen her, Josephine, wandering around. Well, wandering.
Wow.
She was not a relaxed.
I would say
wanderer.
wandering.
No, she definitely wasn't wandering. Kind of careering around the paddock this morning, trying to get to the bottom of whatever issues they've been having, and it looks like they've fixed those issues. I guess we'll only really know when they turn the power up, because that's when all kind of the suck and blow of the combustion engines will mean that the fuel will be pulled through into those two ROS Mercury racing engines, and that's when we'll really figure out whether it's been fixed or not.
Yeah, that's it. So for viewers at home, they are the boat with the bright orange livery. I like it. It's nice and minimalist.
I like it, yeah. And if you get up close to it, it's got like a glistening speck through it, which is always enjoyable. I enjoy that on a paint job, which is good. So they're just going around the entire circuit now. They're just coming down the back stretch, as you can see. Lots and lots of interest in.
Little high five there by the little guy.
There you go, thumbs up. Yeah.
Well, he's
Great stuff.
enjoying XCAT.
He's loving it. I mean, the timing was exquisite, because how long have they been standing there? Have it with their thumbs up, because they've not been. That camera's not been live the whole time.
It's been there for about 20. He's been doing that for about 30 minutes.
You reckon? Yeah, he's got a cramp in his thumb, poor kid. But yeah, that people really are. It's a really hot afternoon, but people have flocked to the shore side, and out of the window here we can see, they're lined across there.
Yellow flag is up, so everything is looking good. So we're off racing. Pasquale is screaming through the radio.
Here we go. So hammer down. You can see the rooster tails there. Everyone.
Ooh, 222 has made a move on Faza on the outside.
They really have. Now they've got to keep ahead of them there, because it's going to be on the corner.
And QA Oils as well seems to be flying ahead.
And QA Oils are cutting across the front there as well.
Ooh, there's
my
some
word.
good fights going on right now. Seems like Console Brokers is also putting. Ooh, that was a close one, eh? I couldn't really tell it was Pasta Amato and HPI, was it?
Yeah. Okay, so they're coming around the first chicane now.
So 222 cut in front of Faza in that corner. We have QA Oils in third place and HPI in fourth. QA jumped up the rankings quickly.
Out of nowhere. Now, Pastamato have held back, but look how fast Team GB are coming along there as well.
They're going for it. Obviously, things can change dramatically from second to second. Let's not forget that we've still got long laps, 2 mandatory long laps that each team needs to take.
Yeah, and that changes the dynamic entirely.
Oh, little Abdulatif and Badir are looking very strong.
Yeah, and Abdulatif, I saw him out there on the pontoon, and he was a man on a mission, without a shadow of a doubt. He
That's
was
what you
ready
want to
and good.
see.
Yeah, I mean, they did so well in Basilicata to come through and get that podium finish last time out. So yeah, really good to see.
So we're trying to tell. So it looks like HPI. It's a pretty sunny day, so
It is, and it looks like I can
livery.
just see the Italian flag on the front of the bow there, and that's got to be
Good old Darren 222 offshore, is it?
Yeah, way out in. Oh, when I say way out in front, I'll be honest with you, folks. That is an over dramatisation on my part. They're out in front. They started second, but they got such a jump on Faza.
It seems there's a bit of a gap developed between them.
Swecat are keeping pace with Pasta Amato, but there you can see. Now this is where I was talking to Team GB, and they were losing 3 seconds around this corner.
Yeah, so you can see the difference.
There you go.
How wide 222 and how nice and clean Faz does, but it seems like they still have the
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely
lead. We're gonna have to work on that on the next couple of corners, eh?
Yeah. But you can see Faza took a chunk out of them there. But everybody runs exactly the same engine, and we can see here Faza have just come between. There's going to be another turn, and they've just turned that on a sixpence. Then we've got Q8 Oils in third, Team GB in fourth, HPI Racing in 5th. Oh, they're not going to be happy with that with Giuseppe and Rosario. Pasta Amato in 6th, and Swecat gaining on Pasta Amato.
They're chasing after them, eh?
They might get him on this corner.
Yeah.
No, he's gone really wide. Swecat have gone really, really wide there.
I think he tried to avoid that rooster tail and all that swirl.
Yeah. Oh wow, Swecat have gone seriously wide there. But we have 222 offshore of Darren Nicholson and Giovanni Carpetella out in front. Distinctive Rocco Barocco. Now, what is that on the side of their boat? Is that a contact mark? Because Faza and 222 have had contact in the past.
They've
So I
got a
wonder
bit of a history.
they
behind
do
them.
have somewhat of a checkered past in terms of coming together. You know, it's all well mannered.
Checkered past? Checkered flag?
Oh right, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
got it.
yeah. Now I get it now. Yeah. Good to know. The jokes are funnier when you have to explain them. I find, but well done. But yeah, you can see the distinctive Rocco Barocco sponsorship livery on the side there of 222 offshore. They're followed by Faza, Q8 Oils in 3rd, Team GB in 4th, HPI Racing Team, HPI in 5th, Pasta Amato, Alfredo Amato, and Luca Betti in 6th, and Swecat there in 7th. What do you think so far? That is. I mean, it's
A bit of
intense.
a toss-up, isn't it? Like between all of them. I mean, HPI Racing Team falling to 5th, Q8 Oils climbing up all the way up to 3rd, and obviously 222 Offshore taking the lead in front of Faza.
Yeah.
But you can tell the distinctive difference between how they handle those corners, Faza and 222 Offshore.
Q8 looking a bit laboured there.
Yeah. Console brokers are looking steady. They might be taking it easy at this point and maybe strategically play it out with the long laps.
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of just really getting themselves into a spot of bother. But this fight for 1st and 2nd is just absolutely.
And it's that specific corner. It seems like that's where it's going to happen.
Yeah. And that is the tough. That is such a tight corner. You know, it's as close to a U-bend as you can almost get without coming back in yourself. But the gap is definitely there.
It's growing. The gap is growing, not massively. A 4-second difference.
Yeah. You can hear me thinking. 4 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So you.
Q8 Oils is not doing too well. Team GB in 3rd and HPI Racing Team in 4th.
I thought Q8 were in trouble there. That is a shame. But it is not a bad day at the office for Team GB so far, who have made up a place from 4th to 3rd. HPI have obviously taken advantage of Q8 Oils having a bit of an issue, and there's Q8 shooting. And they don't seem to have any mechanical issue. The only thing I can think of is they got a little bit wayward on the course maybe and took a wrong turn and went the wrong way around a buoy and or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't seem like, or maybe they could even be. It's doubtful, but they may even have hooked. You know, they might have found themselves in a wake with a strong wave, and when that wave kind of catches your boat just wrong, it does something called hooking the boat, where it just basically throws you off, and that's where you see, unfortunately, things like flips and tips and stuff. But in very rare occasions. But what it does in most cases, it just kind of throws you off a little bit.
Yeah, and actually, you know, there have been incidents, severe incidents. Actually, Team GB team manager had undergone a pretty severe accident exactly because of hooking, where you know, she got thrown basically off the boat. Encountered many injuries.
Yeah, it can be pretty brutal, especially in the old spinal cord. And it's not the best place to be. So Team GB, I mean, that's a great turn from Martin and Scott there. Feels like they've managed to get the hang of what the course needs, because it really is not. We were talking to Martin earlier on, and on the pontoon, and he really, you know, he could not stress enough. This is not the kind of water they like. It's not the kind of water that the boat likes. It's not the kind of water that the team likes. And so, yeah, the fact that they've done that is pretty impressive. But 222, Darren and Giovanni absolutely taking off.
Team GB, though, you're saying might not be their kind of waters, but they've made it up to basically a podium spot at this point, which was their target so far.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, points make prizes. They're 3rd in the championship. you know, who this is really hurting is this position at the moment is HPI. You know, that's who it's really starting to hurt.
Yeah, I think we'll be pretty disappointed with this. XCAT is also climbing the ranks. Good for them, starting in last position. But 222 Offshore and FASA, okay, they're building a bit of a gap between them. But what about the long laps? What's going to happen there?
That is 222 Offshore just basically coming off the pace, and FASA just going around them. I'm sure that was 222 pulling off to the side, and FASA.
Oh no! I hope there's no mechanical issues.
Because that is FASA.
That'd be a massive shame.
There you go. Look.
Yeah.
Oh God, that gave me seasickness. That angle there. That was a bit of a wide shot. That looks like 222 might be out of it.
Oh, that's gutting. That's absolutely gutting. You know, because there are a bunch of warriors in that cockpit, and I think they're just being super unlucky.
Yeah, that is not great. Oh no. Yeah, that is a mechanical failure. That is a mechanical failure for 222 Offshore. And they had that in Basilicata as well. They just lost an engine entirely. One of the first things the team did when they got here was strip the engines back and start again with the help of the guys from Extreme Marine and Mercury, and just not great for them at all.
Gutting. I mean, Team GB will probably take advantage of this. They will end up in second position, it seems, and HPI Racing Team making it up to the podium as well.
Yeah, if it stays like this, this is good news for HPI and good news for Team GB as well, because it also highlights anything can happen at any given time. So yeah, you can see the Fiano brothers there, Giuseppe and Rosario. They will be pretty happy with this. They'd also be pretty confident, potentially, that they could rein in Team GB and maybe not just go for third, but go for second.
I'm just wondering, obviously in pole position, the only team that managed to put the heat on FASA was 222 Offshore, with the gap being, I think it was like about a second and something. Can Team GB or HPI Racing Team put that pressure on them?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I know it makes for boring commentary, but I just don't think Team GB look really flat. Oh wow, they've
They
gone
do
past us
indeed.
here. And HPI
making some lovely noise.
Yeah, they really are. HPI looking pretty flat as well. Let's see how Giuseppe and Rosario deal with the corner. Pretty wide corner. It's funny because all the teams are now starting to take that first corner really wide. Now, so they're carrying a lot of speed in because of the fact that they come flying down that home straight. But maybe they figured out that that's the quickest way to then go to the top end of the.
And we have Pasta Amato entering their first long lap. Took it pretty quickly, just as you're basically allowed to do your first long lap. I guess they're in sixth position. It's probably a pretty safe time to take it. Maybe get both of them out the way and then just try climb up the ranks. And we have FASA in basically a comfortable first position. Team GB with a 20-second difference. HPI about 6 seconds away from Team GB. I think that's going to be the fight. To look out for. Yeah,
it's the long lap strategy now that's going to be one of the key differences. You've got Antonio, the team manager of HPI. That is not Antonio. That is FASA, and you see Josephine Swekat, and we've got team manager of FASA. But yeah, the long lap strategy is now really going to come into effect, because we've seen long lap strategies really change huge amounts of outcomes, and it'll be interesting to see if Pasta Amato, obviously, they haven't really got anything to lose.
No, not at all. I mean, they've got Q8. There's a massive gap between Pasta Amato and QA Oil, so it's super safe.
Yeah, I'd say so. And Faza, I mean, wow. Just running past our commentary booth there, and Faza couldn't be much flatter if they tried in terms of where they are on the water. It's incredible to see, really, the engineering behind that boat. But we shall see how Pasta Amato's long laps make a difference. As you say, they have a comfortable lead over Q8 Oils, and now it's about getting the undercut on XCAT and maybe even HPI. So we shall see what goes from there.
HPI looking very, very fast. And then we have the team of Q8 Oils looking a bit pensive. But I hope we'll have maybe a restart of the event in Pastici that was so happy to make it on the podium. One of the best moments of the championship so far.
They really were super, super happy. You know, there's a great photo doing the rounds of kind of them all celebrating, which is, you know, fantastic to see. And we've got 222 offshore just on the team, the support team on the pontoon there, just waiting for 222 to make it safely back. I don't know how they're going to do that with this setup. They might have to stay out there on the water for a while. And Pasta Amato are going to come in for their second long lap, it would appear. So
Wise.
Just as just as you said, though, you said, look, they might as well take it twice in a row and be done with it.
Yeah. But I am surprised that none of the other teams have taken a long lap yet. We are on lap 6. I'd be expecting XCAT maybe to be taking their long lap, or maybe Q8 as well, get that out of the way.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to see next. We're going to see XCAT. Although, saying that, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Team GB come in the next lap or so, maybe 2, just to kind of... They need to take it. They've got, a 29-second lead on HPI. 26.
No, I think it's...
I could just stand closer to the screen. I just refuse to wear my glasses under any given circumstance. Let me get up and stand a little bit closer. 29. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
There you go. So, would you count that as a comfortable lead for the long lap?
Yes, I think that's probably going to be... They'll come back out with 9 seconds ahead by my estimation. And by doing that, they would undercut Faza, and that might make the biggest of differences because it could be a chance.
And Q8 Oils has taken their first long lap, kind of following the same strategic approach to Pasta Amato, getting both out the way. A bit of comms going on between the team of Faz, so maybe they'll decide to enter their long lap.
Because what they're going to be conscious of is not being undercut by GB and HPI. So it's whether they get in before, HPI, but they don't want to come in too soon and give away some of their advantage. So it's really is a game of cat and mouse. It's very, very Tom and Jerry out there on occasion. So we shall see how it goes. It's what keeps you coming back for more. And if you are wanting to come back for more, make sure you do follow and like the official UIM XCAT World Championship pages on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well. You will find content behind the scenes and of course the live racing and qualifying every time this incredible championship takes to the water, so do be sure that you follow there. And if you're watching live, thank you very much. If you're watching after the fact, I hope you had a lovely day doing something else instead of watching this. But please do tell us your thoughts. What have you thought of the racing? What did you watch the qualifying session earlier? What did you think of the slightly amended qualifying where we had a Q1 and Q2 session where the 4 slowest boats were eliminated for the 3 quickest then to go out and decide the pole position, and Team GB floating around there, and HBI right up their chuff.
Yeah, it's a UK versus Italy fight right there. None of them have taken their neither has taken a long lap as of yet. Oh, some lovely turns. A little bit Tokyo drifting there from Team GB.
Yeah, very, very Too Fast, Too Furious. Not that I'm here to pitch for Universal's latest films, including Fast 10. I went to the premiere. Did I mention that?
Did you?
Yeah.
10 of them?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was a lot, man. It was a lot. And I hadn't watched any of them since 2003, so I was pretty lost in the theatres.
Yeah, you're probably missing quite a lot of the plot.
Yeah, but they did offer us free beer and free popcorn, so
fair enough.
You know, being the Z-list celebrity that apparently I am, I get invited to premieres now, so that's pretty impressive. Anyway, back to the racing. We've got Team GB and HPI Racing are really in a battle for second place. I think at the moment it's probably fair to say that Faza have secured first place unless they really do make a mistake or something happens to their drive system, and we have seen that happen before, not with Faza, but with a couple of other people. But HPI, wow, they are super close. They are 3 seconds behind Faza, well, they're miles behind Faza, behind Team GB. Martin and Scott there. Now it really is going to be who blinks first, who is going to come in for the long lap. Is it going to be HPI? Is it going to be Team GB? Or is it going to be
QA Oils doing their second long lap. So Q8 and Pasta Amato have completed both of their long laps. Nothing to worry now, it's just about putting the throttle to the max and catching up with the rest of the boys.
Yeah. It's everyone's running their own races for their own reasons, and we've just seen. You can't see it, but 222 offshore are back at the pontoon. Giovanni is walking off super despondently. Really, he's really upset actually. That's a shame. And Darren, kind of being Darren. And which is not meant to be an insult, but kind of just sounded that way. I probably should mention that the Ashes are on at the moment. So for those of you watching at home, we've with a love of cricket, maybe we'd like to see the Australians fail, but there we go. Anyway, I digress. But it's the Team GB versus HPI Racing that is our battle of wills, wisdom and statements of intent that we are watching at the moment, and they are so close to each other. This is what we want to see.
And Faza, having built quite a comfortable lead, have decided to enter their first long lap. Makes sense. But overall, Faza in first place, and having entered their first long lap. Team GB in second, no long laps completed. HPI Racing Team in third, again no long laps. Tim XCAT in fourth, no long laps. Pasta Amato in fifth, having completed all of their long laps. QA Oils in sixth, similarly all long laps completed. And 222 offshore disappointingly out of this race.
Yeah, and they really did trudge off, super disappointed, and you can't blame them.
Oh, very interesting.
Well, why don't you share with us what's just been announced?
HPI Racing Team has entered their long lap, so has XCAT. Now, I wonder if it was, okay, let's give up on chasing them. Let's get our long lap out the way. We'll just the team managers will battle it out for them.
Yeah. So HPI, they're going for the undercut, which is well, we knew one of them was going to have to do it at some point, and they have decided to go now. So, in the next 2 laps, my prediction, we're going to see Team GB take their long lap. We're going to see HPI take their second long lap after Team GB take their first, and then Team GB will do 2 concurrently. That is what I think is going to happen.
But do you think they'll end up losing their second spots in HPI Racing Team?
It's really that's a really good question, mate. That's a really open question. I think because HPI have gone first, someone's just fallen over above us. It sounds like someone's dropped a chair. The reality is Team GB are going to have to take this opportunity to really push and build as much of a gap as they possibly can, so that they don't lose as much time when they come around and go into the long lap sessions themselves. So it's an interesting conundrum, but it is what UIM XCAT World Championship Racing is all about. It's not just about going as fast as you humanly can, it's also about making sure that you make the right decisions at the right time, so that you can take advantages of the strategy and take advantage of the rules as they lay themselves out in front of you.
You're all right. Team XCAT haven't taken any. They've taken one long lap. So actually, fourth position, one long lap done. Not a bad spot to be in. Kind of in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, and they can easily take their second one and not have any problem past D'Amato, I would imagine. They're some distance behind HPI, so I think they're probably going to be there or thereabouts in fourth. HPI took that long lap, and as I suspected, it adds around about 20 seconds, give or take.
Your prediction? Hey, you should play the lottery.
I mean, I got the pole position qualifying right this morning.
Yeah.
I got the West Ham versus Fiorentina score right before they'd even kicked a ball, which again, I appreciate is not necessarily for our audience, but if we're talking about my ability to get the right thing right. What I can't do is play the lottery. I haven't won the lottery for a long, long time. Lotto is not my strong suit. But I was right about Team GB taking their long lap in the next two, wasn't I?
That's it. Ooh, HPI looking so fast out there today. Faster than that pole. So we've got Faza in first place, HPI Racing in second, Team GB in third, XCAT in fourth, Pasta Mato in fifth, QA Oils in sixth, and 222 Offshore out of the race.
But saying that, we saw Team GB not a million miles behind HPI, so they were gunning it while HPI were taking their long lap. So that's really, really good to see, because now we've got a real battle still going on second for third. I think there will be no battle for last. Unfortunately, 222 Offshore are physically out of the water. They've been lifted and moved out. So they will be working on that as much as they can this evening and tomorrow morning ahead of qualifying tomorrow. Remember, we do have qualifying tomorrow for the second race of this Romanian Grand Prix, and it's going to be a real doozy, because there's an awful lot of points up for grabs. So at the moment we've got Faza, HPI, Team GP, XCAT, Pasta Amato, boat number 22, as you can see there, piloted by Alfredo Amato and Nicoletti, and then QA Oils in sixth. So we've got a real battle on our hands. It actually looks like Pasta Amato has settled somewhat into the race after some early issues.
It does indeed. It does indeed. But it's quite interesting looking at the overall championship kind of rankings. Obviously, we had Faza in first place, HPI Racing Team in second with only a points difference, and Team GB in third. Basically, top three in this race are also the top three in the championship overall. QA Oils in fourth won't really affect that match. So it seems like it's a UK, Italy and Emirati fight for this championship.
Yeah, which is not something you get to say all the time.
No.
It's a good thing to see. Just underlining once again just how international this UIM XCAT World Championship is. And I think my predictions just do keep getting right. Team GB coming in for their second long lap. So it's Team GB are now trying to undercut HPI.
Probably a smart move on behalf of Shelley.
Nonchalant, probably a smart move.
Yeah.
She's a smart lady.
She is a smart lady. This will probably mean that they'll manage to take the second spot from HPI at some point if they keep this pace.
Yes, so what will happen now is they will add a little bit more time, so 20 seconds, but it will force HPI into making a decision, and they're going to have to they're going to have to take their long lap sooner rather than later. So we can see it all unfolding in front of us, really. So that has put Team GB back in the driving seat, but at the moment it's XCAT, running third, but they do still have to take one of their long laps. So I highly doubt it will stay like that for long.
Yep, you are right there, Stu. Console brokers are looking like they've a little bit more settled in the cockpit, as you said, but is it too late to actually make a massive difference?
Well, as we've seen, anything can happen. 222 Offshore's engineering issues and mechanical issues kind of underline that you've just got to keep. have to run your own race. There's not much you can do about anybody else. But you've got to remember, this is a long weekend of racing. This is a long Grand Prix. You know, if you don't succeed today, and you're not having the race that necessarily you want, then there's a seriously strong chance that you can use this as a really good testing session and learn about the course, learn about the strengths, learn about your competitors, and then head into tomorrow's race in a much stronger position.
That's a very good point, Stu. So I expect tomorrow's race and tomorrow's pole is going to be even more fierce. Obviously, yeah, as you mentioned, the drivers will feel more comfortable racing on the lake. But I really hope that Darren and Giovanni manage to solve all the mechanical issues and will be able to actually race tomorrow.
Yeah. I think they will. I think they'll manage to fix the issues. And somewhat distracted as there's a little family of ducks swimming past the front of our commentary booth.
Indeed,
so they don't get in the way.
They don't get too close to HPI Racing Team
and
QA Oil. So we have a bit of an accident there with the poor duckies.
I'm sure they'll be fine.
So far we have Faza in first position, HPI Racing Team in second, XCAT in third. Actually started last.
Yes.
For today, so
bearing in mind they do need to take a long lap still, but yes, absolutely, a really great result.
Team GB in fourth. I don't imagine they'll stay in that position for too long. Pasta Amato in fifth, QA Oils in sixth, and 222 Offshore in last position and out of the race.
And we're edging closer and closer to the 3/4 mark on this race, and it's interesting sets of developments. So for example, we have HPI, as you correctly say, in second place, but yet to take their second long lap. So they are clearly trying to build a bit of a lead while using XCAT as a buffer for Team GB. Hopefully they're hoping that XCAT we're going to be slowing GB right down. Team GB in fourth. Their pace dictates that they probably now should be in third, but they're going to have to wait for XCAT to take their second long lap. So you could easily see a shift.
Yeah, I imagine HPI and XCAT are in a bit of a tricky situation now, with Team GB kind of hot on their tails with both long laps, and Faza taking their second long lap. A bit of an easy decision, to be honest with you. They're very comfortably in the lead. So the one to look out for, HPI, XCAT and Team GB.
Well, that's really where the race is now, John. It's really comes down to who's going to blink. I mean, Team GB have already taken their 2 long laps. Strategic decision they made early doors by Shelley, the team manager, and now it's a case of just where and when HPI are going to take the second of their long laps. Now it may well be that they could well be waiting for XCAT. So if XCAT take their second long lap, then we will see HPI take their second long lap kind of straight after, because they are using XCAT as a buffer. The problem you'll find is if HPI do their second long lap now, XCAT will then use their long lap, and then you'll see Team GB possibly leapfrogging absolutely everybody and moving up into second, which is exactly what HPI do not want. So yeah, it's definitely a game of chess out there on Lake Sucio, and just a reminder, we are racing on a lake. It's a lagoon, as it's also been described as. I'm not entirely sure what the difference between a lagoon and a lake actually is, but we're currently sat on the banks of Lake Sucio in Mamaia, and on the other side of Mamaia is the Black Sea. So yeah, an interesting venue.
So XCAT was the one to blink first. They've entered their second long lap. HPI High Performance Italia still to take their second long lap. You can see them a bit consulting each other what to do next.
That's really put the cat amongst the pigeons, and let me tell you why, folks. Because now XCAT are going to be taking their long lap. They then drop down to 4th behind Team GB. Team GB, of course, have used all their long laps. HPI are now going to have to take their second long lap. If they don't, they will face a penalty which will impose them and hit them anyway. So HPI could be in a situation where they drop down as far as 4th. It's unlikely, but they probably should have taken it before XCAT.
Yeah, I think you're right. But it would be interesting if Team GB managed to climb up to 2nd and XCAT to 3rd. That'd be gutting for the Italian team. But yeah, fair play to Josephine.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah, she's a canning operator.
Absolutely.
She's a wily worker.
And HPI racing team is taking their second long lap. I'd say a bit of a, not an act of desperation per se, but they're trying to, not avoid any catastrophic mistakes.
No, and this is either going to leave them in 3rd or 4th. I think they might just squeak out in 3rd.
Possibly, they are looking pretty fast out there, so they might just about, eh?
There's Q8 and Fazza in conversation. Fazza, just to remind you, are in the race. Fazza are so far out in front at this stage, but doing really well. They obviously got their clear water. They had a bit of a troubling start, up against 222, and that unfortunately for 222 offshore, that threat was extinguished when they had a mechanical failure, which left Fazza just to do what they needed to do and head out in the lead.
Yeah, we do have to speak to Giovanni and Darren after the race just to kind of understand what went wrong. If it's a repeat of the failure in Italy, I guess that'll be doubly as disappointing.
Yeah. They're not going to be happy with that at all. So we've got XCAT just down there in 4th, Team GB in 3rd, and HPI in 2nd as it stands at the moment with Fazza out in front. Pasto Mato, Boat 22 in 5th, and Q8 Oils quite a way behind in 6th position, and then obviously 222 offshore of Darren and Giovanni. Capitella, Darren Nicholson, the Australian-Italian combo team. Unfortunately out of this race, which is not great for them to see.
No, not indeed. So yeah, following today's race, as mentioned previously, we will be having another pole position session tomorrow morning and another race in the afternoon. So yes, today is deciding, but we also have a second race tomorrow, and things might turn around.
Yeah, and this is the midway point of the 2023 UIM XCAT World Championship. Nothing is decided this weekend, but what it will help us do is form a really good understanding of where the championship might be heading when we get to the penultimate rounds in the United Arab Emirates. We'll be heading over there in early December. It's a tough job, folks, but somebody has to do it. A little bit of summer sun, but they really do put on a fantastic show in the Emirates for power boating, and we love that we get to go there as part of this incredible championship. So thank you very much to everybody there who is getting ready to host this championship, and they'll have something to cheer about because Fazza really are showing us all how it's done.
Yeah, you can say that again, but
Fazza really are showing us how it can be done.
But obviously the final in Dubai, always super impressive. But at the same time, our time in Romania, our time in Constanza has been absolutely incredible. Whether it's the food, it's the people, it's the racing, the accommodation, all has been great.
It really has been. Yeah, it really has been. We've had a thoroughly good time so far. I'm not entirely sure what's on the menu this evening. We do have a start tomorrow, but I think a little paddle in the Black Sea between today and tomorrow might be on the cards. And what was the beer we had just? Oh, probably shouldn't say because we're not endorsed.
We didn't have beer.
We didn't have
beer. No, we're working.
What was the fizzy adult pop that we had, we had yesterday? But it was great. And yeah, if this place has never been on your list to visit, then we cannot tell you enough to come and experience what Romania, Constanța, Mamaia, and this wonderful, open, generous and exciting place has to offer. It's been a fantastic host for the XCAT World Championship. We're so happy that we've been able to come here to Romania for the Romanian Grand Prix, and thank you to our host city of Constanța and all of the federations, all of the sponsors and everybody involved. It's been absolutely fantastic. And of course, thanks to you at home for tuning in. Thank you very much for being part of this. I want to take this opportunity as we head towards the end of the race just to make sure that you are doing the right thing, and by the right thing I mean it is following the XCAT World Championships on all the social platforms that you feel suit your needs the best. We're on Instagram, we are on TikTok, we are on Facebook, and we are on YouTube. So if you're watching this right now, there's a strong chance you are watching us on one of those. And make sure you tell us how you thought the racing was. If you watched pole position qualifying this morning, tell us how you found that. And make sure that if you've got nothing in the diary tomorrow, that you tune in and watch another set of incredibly tough qualifying and incredibly close racing. We don't clash with anything else this weekend, so there's no excuse.
And even if you do have something in the diary, maybe it's a good excuse to cancel and watch some power boats on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, exactly. It's too warm to be outside anyway. Unless you live here, if you live in Constanța or you are visiting Constanța for the weekend, feel free to come out.
There you go. So we have the white flag signaling
penultimate lap.
Penultimate lap. Yeah.
So we have one more lap to go. We will.
Looking steady. Looking steady.
That is a strong flag waving arm. She's doing really, really well. Good sturdy flag waving, which is what we need. Yes, there is one more lap to go. That is what the white flag signifies. And then the next flag that you will see raised is the checkered flag, and that doesn't need me to explain. It means that is the end of the race.
So ladies and gents, we have Faza in first position, HPI Racing Team in second. So the late long lap didn't affect them too much, or not at all actually. Team GB in third, XCAT in fourth, Pasta Amato in fifth, QA Oils in sixth, and 222 Offshore in last position and out of the race.
And no points. They didn't finish. That's going to be a real blow to their championship hopes as well. I think that's probably going to make it not impossible, but really difficult. They're going to have to fix whatever went wrong today and tomorrow really, really quickly.
I'd say the two disappointing, the most disappointing would probably be QA Oils. They got off to a really good start, but then, I think you spotted it. Somehow they missed it and got overtaking, but quite a lot of boats. Obviously, 222 Offshore taking the lead early on and looking like they were defending quite well against Faza, despite the very open turns. They were doing pretty well.
Yeah. It's worth a little chat with the QA Oils team. Just what exactly happened there? Did you bog down? What happened? Just to see what happened. And the pace cat is about to wave the checkered flag. The checkered flag is out, and it will be Faza, unless something happens in the next 300 meters, for them to take their victory. And you can hear the engines have slowed right down. And there we have it. Faza have won the first race of the Romanian Grand Prix. They started the race in pole position. They were thumped left, right and centre by 222 Offshore and were given a real battle early on. But they are the winners of the first race here on Lake Suceava in Constanța, just off of Mamaia. And we have HPI Racing finishing in second. They started in third position. We spoke to Rosario and Giuseppe on the build-up. They want to just keep climbing that podium, but this will do their championship hopes no harm whatsoever. And we're going to see Team GB.
Yep, so they set it. They set the bar. They're like, we need to get on the podium. That's our aim. They managed to do it. Fair play to Scott and Martin.
Yeah, that's a really good performance from those two. To be honest, this is really not their race. and XCAT really close behind. What a result!
Actually, I think I'm probably the most proud of Team XCAT, you know, because they seemed so disappointed early on the day with their fuel engine, the fuel issues they were having, but they managed to sort it out in a very short amount of time and put in a very competitive performance in the meantime.
Yeah, that is a real display of kind of fortitude, isn't it? To have turned that around. You know, they were out in the middle of the sun, in the bows of the bow, kind of, you know, replacing all the bits and bobs that you need to do for the fuel line. It's not a small amount of work to do. Pastamato, boat number 22, crossing the line there. Now we're just going to wait.
And
for Q8 oils,
but not least, definitely not least, Q8 oils are coming in. The team manager, the rest of the team of Pasta Amato in the frame. Not looking incredibly pleased with the performance.
No, they won't be. You know, they're long-time powerboat professionals, and they won't be particularly happy with that. You know, they go into every race for the win, and we're just watching Team XCAT there, the support staff hugging each other on the pontoon. And to be able to watch that footage, you will have to follow the UIM XCAT World Championship 2023 on the social network platform of your choice. The highlights undoubtedly will show the team being happy there.
In the frame we have Nadir and Arif in the background, and the brothers Schiano Di Cola in the forefront. Team Faza always looking incredibly chilled on that boat without anyone at the helm, and they'll be handed the checkered flag by Pasquale. Let's see the throw.
I think Q8 are out. Sorry to cut you off, but we're waiting for. They're about 7 laps behind, and
been a while, eh?
I have not seen Q8 go past for a little while. Q8 Oils team, I've not seen them for a bit. I mean, it's worrying because we're paid to watch this stuff, but it's. I think they must have. We got so enthralled in battle for second, third, and fourth that I didn't notice that Q8 Oils have slunk off to the corner of the racetrack somewhere.
Interesting. Maybe a slight issue on their side as well.
Which would make sense because they absolutely took off and got themselves in a position. But there we have it. Faza are your winners. HPI Racing Team in second, Team GB in third, XCAT in fourth. A great result for them. Pasta Amato in fifth. Questions to be asked and answered from that team. Q8 Oils in sixth, and 222 Offshore finishing in seventh. We'll get Q8 Oils and 222 Offshore their status given and updated for you in a while. But what a fantastic first race here at Lake Sucho in Constanza. I am thrilled to have been able to share that with you, everybody.
For sure, and just to once more remind everyone that tomorrow on Sunday we'll be having the pole position session at 10:30 local time, followed by race 2 at 3:30 local time. So make sure to tune in for that.
Wonderful stuff. Thank you very much. Thank you everybody at home for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the race as much as myself and John just have. It's been a real pleasure sharing this very first race of the doubleheader of the Romanian Grand Prix with you. And just as we leave you with confirmation that Faza were the winner, followed by HPI Racing Team, Team GB in third, XCAT in fourth, Pasta Amato in fifth, Q8 Oils in sixth, 222 Offshore in seventh, and we've got two teams that unfortunately did not make it to the start line. But with that, there is nothing more for me to say than congratulations to each and every one of the crew, and what a wonderful spectacle they have all put on. Thank you very much to the spectators here at Constanza for watching the race, and thank you very much to my co-commentator John for keeping me on the straight and narrow. Make sure you tune in tomorrow where we will be back for more action from the 2023 UIM XCAT World Championship.
Australia și Italia, pe Giovanni Carpitella și Darren Nicholson, barca numărul 10, 222 offshore. Iar acum cei de care v-am vorbit mai devreme, legendele, cei care au câștigat multiple titluri mondiale, Faza din Emiratele Arabe Unite, Arif Saif Al-Zabi și Nadir bin Hedi. Barca numărul 96, pe locul 3, va fi premiată de domnul Cristiano Mocea. Felicitări, Giuseppe și Rosario. Și acum locul 2, Giovanni Carpitella și Darren Nicholson vor fi premiați de doamna Florina Cristache. Felicitări Darren, felicitări Giovanni. Iar acum, locul 1. Faza Arif Saif Al-Zafin și Nadir bin Hendi premiază domnul viceprimar Ionuț Rusu. Invităm pe cei care au premiat lângă piloți pentru o poză de grup, vă rog. Acordăm puțin timp fotografelor și cameramanilor. Le mulțumim tuturor că sunt alături de noi și că ne ajută să promovăm acest eveniment. Iar acum îi premiem pe cei care au câștigat cursa de astăzi. Începem premierea celor care au urcat pe podiumul cursei de astăzi. Pe locul 3, din Marea Britanie, barca numărul 8, Martin Campbell și Scott Williams. Undeva aici în public este și Shelly, din managerul lor. Nu este numai un sport pentru bărbați, iată că și doamnele avem două echipe care sunt manageriate de doamne. Una dintre ele este Marea Britanie și cea doua echipa din Suedia.
Nu mai e ministerul spus doar ce s-a desfințat.
Mă rog, e, da.
Acum am înțeles. E agenție.
Scuze.
Din nou pe podium astăzi, cei doi frați, Rosario și Giuseppe, barca 96, XCAT Racing din Italia. Tatăl lor este public alături de noastră, cred că e destul de mândru acum.
Italia locul 2, mă?
Deja ține cupele de la pole position.
Haideți să mergem, haideți. Deci, stai mă să vedem acum. Deci, Marea Britanie locul 3 și...
Și acum legendele, veteranii Clasoan și acum XCAT, Arif Saif Al-Zafi și Nadir bin Hendi din Emiratele Arabe Unite, barca numărul 3, Faza.
Ăsta e următorul, deci ăsta e succesorul la tron.
ca să vedeți că aripa nu sare departe de drum. Managerul acestei echipe este tânărul Abdullah bin Hendi, băiatul lui Nadir bin Hendi. Este cel care a coordonat astăzi, a urmărit timp istoși de echipa condusă de tatălui și de prietenul său și a coordonat astfel încât să câștige această cursă. Locul 3 va fi premiat de domnul Alexandru Micu, președintele Federației Române de Acting. Locul 2 va fi premiat de doamna Florina Cristache, secretar general al Ministerului Sportului. Primarul Ion Rusu să-i premieze pe cei care au câștigat astăzi cursa. Echipa FASA. Am invitat pe Abdullah bin Hendi pe scenă pentru că și el urmează să fie premiat ca team manager. Domnul consilier Cristian Vocea l-a premiat pe tânărul Abdullah bin Hendi. Cred că și-a făcut debutul ca team manager. Acum îi rog pe toți invitații de pe scenă să se alăture piloții. Noi vom asculta imnul național al Emiratelor Arabe Unite. Aplauze pentru cei care astăzi au urcat pe podium. Vă așteptăm și mâine, la ora 10:30 avem din nou calificări, la ora 15:30 avem cursa. Vă invităm la o poză de grup. Let's take a picture with this wonderful public now. They applaud you. Now you have to applaud this wonderful public which came here today to cheer you up. Let's have a group picture. Yes, all the winners for today. We'll take a picture with the public. Now, if you like to turn around so you see behind these wonderful people. Acum vor să fac o poză cu dumneavoastră, să o aibă ca amintire de aici, de la Constanța, unde au fost primiți cu căldură, apreciază locul în care se află. Avem mare, avem lac, avem o stațiune frumoasă, care iată este apreciată de oameni care călătoresc cu acest sport în întreaga lume. Vă mulțumim că au ales Constanța, vă mulțumim și noastră că ați fost alături de noi, vă așteptăm și mâine!